Hello everybody, Ketwalski here, checking in with a quick little Star Trek Online news update. Today we've got 4 quick news stories that we want to go ahead and cover, but they're actually really important, and there's a lot of good information that's just been released from Star Trek Online, all part of their 7th anniversary / Season 12, The Reckoning. So first thing we're going to be talking about is the Arena of Sompek special event, and as always, at the end of reading the article, we will go through the photos, so don't worry. The Klingon Empire wants you, ... to toughen up. Urgh. From February 23rd, 9 a.m. to February 26th, 9 a.m., Federation Klingon and Romulan captains on PC, not console, between levels 50 and 60 can queue up for a new Arena of Sompek event. Enter a Klingon holodeck and train in one of the Empire's oldest tradition, the Kakdos. I don't know how to say that. The endless battle against allies and enemies alike. Once the battle starts, it doesn't end until all captains fall, or die. Between environmental hazards and ever-strengthening enemies, captains will need to keep moving and fighting as a team as long as they can. The longer you last, the more rewards you will earn, including your choice of marks, which is pretty cool. Can you survive for up to 100 rounds? Can you prove yourself to be a hero of the Alliance? And can you earn lots of rewards? Gather your friends and queue up for the Arena of Sompek, and we'll find out. So this is kind of the first time they've ever done like an arena-style setup like this, where really the objective is to kill as many things as you can and survive. It's basically a survival map. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the what is that thing called? The Kobayashi Maru. They had a Kobayashi Maru PvE that was really bad, and they got rid of it a couple years ago. And I imagine that they'll probably eventually come back with this one, especially after this one, because this was a huge success. You go online right now. Well, actually, the game I think it's already done with. But if you went on over the weekend and you played this and you tried to load it up in the queue, you would load in immediately because everybody was trying to get in on this. This was hugely popular and very successful, and a lot of people really enjoyed it. I did play it. I actually really liked it quite a bit. I know there was some talk on the forums about it being a little glitchy and there being issues with communications and stuff like that, but if you have your right team, you're with a fleet or something like that, and you guys are on TeamSpeak, it makes it a lot easier for you to coordinate and kind of figure out what the heck you guys all want to do. So it's a lot easier that way. But again, it's a really great way to make marks, and it's a really fun little basically survival game that you and your teammates have to figure out. Much easier to do as an engineering class, in my personal opinion. But I mean, I just love engineering classes. So, all right, let's talk about some of the pictures here. So obviously, this is a holodeck style type thing. I do think that the holodeck is actually on the inside. I did not get the impression that these were holodeck spectators. I think that they were actual spectators, but the holodeck, they were all inside of like a holodeck with you. They were just there as spectators, and you were there to participate in the arena. So I think everybody was inside of a giant holodeck. I don't think they were fake spectators. That's just me. Here you are down here at the inside of the arena, and here you see your actual counter to see what level you guys are at. And it does start off very low, and it actually starts to increase and increase and increase, and it got more and more challenging. I never made it past, I think, 25. My teams, because I was always pugging. I don't have a fleet that I play with, so I was always dying all the time. So that was just me, but really I was just playing it for fun. Me and my dad got into it. We played it for a little bit of fun. It was just kind of fun to check it out and enjoy it, so it was fun. And then, of course, we have this final picture here. We have the cages where everybody's starting at and doing all those different things. And you guys can kind of see back here that the arena actually extends past this square piece, and you can kind of see it back there. So you have a couple of different areas. You can either choose to hide in corners, but then of course environmental issues cause different things, and there's different objectives you have to take care of and stuff like that. So you got to kind of keep moving. You can't just kind of hunker down and stay still, which as an engineering class, of course, that's what I want to do. But you got to kind of stay mobile. Good thing I had a bunch of drones with me, and that was kind of helpful for me when I was doing it. So I hope you guys did get to play this. This was a lot of fun. I do believe that this thing is going to be returning. I don't think that this is going to be just a one-off thing. Like I said, I think, my personal opinion, that because of the success of this one, they are probably going to try to bring back the Kittimer, or not the Kittimer one, the Kobayashi Maru one, but an updated. The Kobayashi Maru one, a lot of you old school fans probably know, that was a really, really bad map. It was just poorly balanced, poorly executed. It just wasn't very good. And they heard their fans complain about it, so they just took the entire thing out. And I do believe that this is the same kind of style idea that they had there, so I think that this is going to be maybe a prelude to doing maybe a series of these where they just rotate a couple of different, arena type things into the game, some ground and some space, which I think would be a lot of fun. I think we'll add like a different variety to the game as opposed to just the normal pug PvE where you've got a little bit of an objective and you blow stuff up and you're kind of doing different things. This one is much more just survive and kill stuff. That's all you got to worry about is DPS and healing yourselves. So it's kind of fun. It's a little mindless, but also requires good tactics. So this was the Arena of Sompek rewards. This is what you could get for actually participating in it. And then going all the way through for marks, 63 plus rounds, you got 130. I obviously never got that high. The lithium, and then also crafting materials. Captains will earn 2 new titles for every 7 rounds of the arena they complete. And then you also have arena weekend vouchers. Okay, this is interesting. I didn't know about this. Passing round 4 in the arena will grant captains a voucher once per day that could be applied towards a special reward, the Sompek Lightning Universal Kit module. See, I did not know that. I must not have been paying attention. This powerful module calls down the Arena Lightning Strike for captains in the field. Oh. So the Arena Lightning, I wasn't going to talk about the environmental stuff because I didn't kind of want to spoil it for everybody. But because I do think that the mission's going to be coming back. I don't think it's gone forever. But one of the Arena Lightning is, again, one of those things that why you can't just stay in one place. These things will come down and kill you, so you got to keep moving. So yeah, so that was kind of interesting. So basically, this was just a really fun and easy way to kind of just get dilithium, get different marks, and also some crafting materials. But ultimately, it was just a lot of fun to get together with your friends, if you have them, or pug like I did, and just blow a bunch of stuff up, which is what you're doing. So it's kind of cool. All right, moving on. The means to an end. Now, this is another blog post that deal with why the Tzenkehi are using protomatter bombs to help essentially destroy and colonize their part of the Alpha Quadrant. Again, I'm not going to read all these. I hope that you guys have been reading the last couple of them. I have been linking them in the previous ones of these particular video updates, and they actually do have them all linked down at the bottom of this article through ARC's main website as well. So you guys can get caught up. But this is a really interesting read, and it really starts to, I think, evolve a lot of the backstory on these characters that you may not necessarily get from just playing the mission. And I think that these work really well in conjunction with the missions, because in the missions they want to be able to give you combat and also activities to do to keep your attention, to keep the missions moving. If they put all this kinds of background text inside the missions, most people would not read it, and they would say that that mission was boring, it dragged on, there was a bazillion dialogue boxes, and I wasn't reading any of it anyways, so it was like, what is the point? Why am I doing this? So I feel like having this as a separate thing helps create a lore and a backstory for people like me who like that kind of stuff. That helps, you know, grow the depth of what it is I'm actually doing inside of the missions. And these blog posts all connect right into the missions that are available right now, which is Echoes of Light and Of Signs Importance. And I think that the last 2 were post Of Signs Importance. So I think that they're going to be leading up into the next set of missions that are going to be coming out for Season 12. So this was definitely going to keep people interested. I hope that you guys do check this out. It's a lot of fun to read, and it does give you quite a bit of insight into the Tzenkehi, so it's really important to read. And then the Breach Q returns. Now, this is the big story, obviously. We'll go ahead and read the excerpt, and then we'll talk a little bit about the history on this bad boy. The SDO team is pleased to reintroduce the Breach Q as part of an exciting new event. In order to make an even faster-paced, action-packed experience, we have trimmed down the Breach Q to just the essentials. Now players will be able to follow a shortened path, complete just the engineering room and the core room, and escape before the Voth Fortress ship blows up. We have also addressed some quality of life issues, implemented better path communications, and objective adjustments to eye towards a faster completion time. Alright, from March 2nd to March 23rd on PC, and from March 16th through April 7th on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, captains can queue up for a 5-captain breach event to defeat the Voth city ship to earn the Voth operative transmission every 20 hours. Collecting 14 of these transmissions, players can complete a new event reputation project to be rewarded with 50,000 dilithium, 500 fleet marks, 250 marks of any of their choice, which includes all of these ones listed here, and a brand new Voth melee weapon, the Ferodian's Fangs. I want to do it just for the Ferodian's Fangs, which I think are actually pictured here in this guy's hands, so those look really freaking badass. Bonus. Once the new main reputation project is complete, a brand new bonus Voth operative transmission project will become available to slot. Completing this one will earn 2,000 ore, 50 fleet marks, and 35 additional marks of their choice. Okay, for console captains, this choice of marks will reflect only these marks available on their platform. That's disappointing, because not all mark reputations are available on consoles, which sucks. To participate and earn Voth operative transmissions, queue up for the normal or advanced version of the event. A successful completion of either will award you 1 Voth operative transmission in addition to your choice of marks. Completing the advanced will reward you with cybernetic implants, which we can use for dice and reputation projects. Okay. After the run of this breach event, the regular breach queue will return to its normal rewards, which is really key to note. Okay, so first thing I want to talk about is obviously these Ferodian Fangs. I'm assuming that's what these are here. It doesn't actually have a caption on the image, and there's no alt text on it, but I assume that's what it is. Otherwise, why would they have it here? Those look really cool. I like the way that they look. They look like kind of Riddick-style swords or something like that. It looks like something Vin Diesel would be using to punch a bunch of necromancers in the face, or whatever those guys were called. So I really like the way these look. I definitely will be playing just to get these fangs. I actually really want that. That's pretty cool. I don't care so much about the marks. I'm not a big mark guy. I know I'm lame, but I don't play for marks. I don't do the grind. So, but that's pretty cool. Now, this is the Voth City ship, fortress ship. This is the trench run piece of it. So now this original queue was massive. This mission was massive. It was a massive fortress ship. You know, your ship would be this big. It would be very small, and there would be this giant map, and you would essentially be flying down this particular trench. I'm pointing at it with my hand because you guys can clearly see what I'm doing. You would fly down this trench, but also on the outsides of it, there would be also a whole bunch of other things for you to be able to shoot at and weaken the overall status of the ship. Now, the thing with this is there would be these things that you had to destroy on the internal piece here and on the external piece. And this thing was just pounding you with lasers all the time. It was essentially like A New Hope with when they did the Death Star trench run in A New Hope and Star Wars A New Hope, you know, and it was essentially the same exact concept. And then after you destroyed enough of the stuff, the internals to the ship would open up to you, and then you and your team would have to fly in there and have to destroy some stuff in an engine room. You have to breach the warp core, and then they set the ship essentially to explode, and then you'd have to fly the hell out of there before the thing exploded, and you hopefully were able to get out before you died as well in the explosion. This was probably one of the more difficult ones. I played this one maybe, I don't know, maybe two or three dozen times before I just kind of stopped playing it, but this one was the hardest one because most people did not seem to understand what the hell they were supposed to do in the map. And I know me, for the first couple, maybe the first dozen times I played it, I still wasn't exactly sure what the hell I was supposed to do, because some people were flying off and destroying things on the outside of the trench, some people were only staying inside the trench, and every time I would load up to it, whether I was with my fleet mates or pugging, it would always be different. The experience would always be different. People would always do different things. The objectives would remain the same, but people would always go about it very differently. And normally that sounds like a really cool thing, like, oh, cool, we let you decide what you want to do. But in reality, it was very linear in what you needed to do, but people just didn't quite understand what they were supposed to do. And I think that's where this particular sentence comes into place, which is quality of life and implemented better path communication and objective adjustments to eye towards a faster completion time. And this piece right here, the faster completion time, most of the time you'd spend outside of the ship dying because people didn't know what the hell they were supposed to do. And so you would just blow up all the time, and then you'd have to fly all the way back to the trench to find where the rest of your team is, and this thing would, like a thing like this would be surrounded by turrets and ships, and it would just be a nightmare to try to get through. But if you were doing it by yourself and you knew what you had to do, then it was impossible to do because it's supposed to be done as a team. So them having implemented better path communication and objective adjustments, I think is going to be great. If you played some of the new Tzenkehi ones, they make it very easy, like say for instance the one where you're supposed to pick up the bombs and then fly them into the Tzenkehi space stations and have it on the ship. It's very easy. It's very graphic intensive. It's this giant target that's on the Tzenkehi ship. You blow that thing up, you swoop in, pick up the bomb, and now your ship has a giant marker on it, so everybody can see it. It's very easy to understand what you're supposed to do. So I think that's what kind of the thing that they're going to be doing here. Maybe giant markers saying this right here is what you're supposed to blow up. I hope they make it a little bit easier in terms of being able to understand what you're supposed to do, but not. I hope they don't reduce the difficulty of the enemies, because it was still very difficult, but it wasn't impossible to do if you had the right team. So I hope they didn't reduce that at all, because I hope they stayed the same, because if everyone knows what they're supposed to do, then it may actually be a fair fight and you won't actually die the whole time. But if they made it easier to know what to do and they reduced the enemy combat skill, then it may be too simple. But I don't know. I'll reserve my judgment for March 23rd, or excuse me, March 2nd, which is when it comes out for the PC, and I'll let you guys know. I'll probably actually do a live stream on that just so we can kind of go through it and so everybody can kind of see what it's all about. So anyways, that wraps up today's News Bit Stories. I want to hear what everybody thinks. Tell me what everyone thought about the arena. Did you guys enjoy the arena? Did everybody get to play it? Did you like that idea? Do you think that they're actually going to be bringing back more arena-type, survival-type modes to the game, such as the Kobayashi Maru, or do you think that that was just kind of a one-off and it was lame and you didn't like it and you hope they never bring anything back? Are you excited for the return of the Breach? That's really the big question of today, is are you excited for that this return of the Breach and you know the reintroduction of it and the redone up and stuff like that? Did you guys think it really needed these updates, or did you think that it was fine the way it was? I'm curious to hear what everybody thinks. I appreciate you guys checking this video out. Please throw a like and a subscribe up on YouTube, and follow me on Twitter at RealKetWalski. Live long and prosper, my Trekkies.